Hi, my name is Jennifer Faulkner, and I'm the author of Susanna Hall, her book. It's about the eldest daughter of William Shakespeare, Susanna Hall, during the English Civil War. Leaving Elizabeth upstairs, Susanna slips into John's study. She stands before his shelves, fingers the spines of his books, the ones that remain. The more useful ones, his herbals, his Pharmacopoeia Londinensis, have found their way into her still room. Still others she sold. She hasn't yet told Elizabeth. Here are the books from which she learned her little Latin, her less Greek, Vesalius, Galen. She found her poetry and science. John used to laugh and say that he had a wife who preferred study to sewing. Then after Elizabeth was born, and no more children followed, he said it without the laughter. He used to stand just here, by the window, holding up a beaker to the light, squinting at the yellow liquid. If she concentrates, she can almost see him again. He could only judge what ails a man by what the body releases. Sometimes he preferred to see the urine rather than the patient. Susanna once quipped it would have been better if God had made men of glass to make their physicians' lives easier. That earned her a raised eyebrow. Don't be impious, Susanna. There are shadows here, deep in the corners of the room, that even the wakening sun can't dispel. This was her father's study before it was John's. The window still bears the words he scratched into the glass, the little rhymes she and Judith made up, silly jokes about their cat, the terror of the house mice, that delighted him enough to preserve them. She pulls down a couple of John's old casebooks, the ones he'd copied, intending to have them published one day. Select observations on English bodies of eminent persons in desperate diseases. Desperate indeed. She's looking for help, something she hasn't tried yet against the fever and infection. The language is cold, stilted, not the voice she remembers at all, and yet it brings his own voice back to her. And she is there in his book. She was an eminent person then. A night of vomits and sweats, of burning in her side, he wrote. She barely remembers the illness, just a terrifying lethargy, but she remembers its result. He was with her, at her side, attentive, gentle. She remembers the astringent smell of the plaster he placed on her stomach, the touch of his cool hands on her hot forehead and cheeks. She first read this account of her illness long after he had died, and it brought her to tears to read of the ingredients of her plaster, of the resin he added that came all the way from Crete. She knew the trouble and expense he went to acquire it, that he would use it on her, and liberally too. He was not a demonstrative man. But there is nothing, not a dram, not a scruple in his notes to help her now.